Hey, what is up guys? It's your boy Speed here, and today we're going to be talking about a fun little build that Pure did. This was in the EWC tournament, so I'm sure some of you guys saw it, but he played carry Hoodwink. Now, stuff like this is just like my favorite stuff about Dota, so I love making videos about it. Now, this video probably won't get a lot of views, but I'm excited to talk about it nonetheless. You know, what are the upsides of Hoodwink? What does this hero have going for it? And let's get into it. On top of that, go sign up to the gameleap website, guys. I'm posting new content over there almost every day, and I'll see you there. First things first, a couple of things to note. Maybe I'm underestimating this hero a little bit. I mean, one thing to say is that it has pretty decent base stats. 5 armor, decent attack speed, 315 base movement speed, which is incredibly high, 56 damage, which actually isn't very good. That's quite bad considering he has 6 all stats. But yeah, all in all, decent stats. Now, in the laning stage, he's got a pretty easy lane here. I mean, nothing's really going to happen. Frankly, I'm not going to spend much time on the lane. Ooh, you should auto-attack and then throw the acorn. You shouldn't do it the other way around. So that was a bit of a mistake. But yeah, a pretty easy lane. You're not going to have mana issues, which this hero can have because of the stick charges from Bristle. And you have a Bane against Shaman, which is just a super free matchup. It's rarely ever going to go bad for the Bane. And so, yeah, nothing too crazy here. He also got First Blood, so this game is obviously starting off on a good note. He's going to buy Blades of Attack, and I think this is pretty standard. In most games, your first item is going to be Tangos. He decides to grade it out due to his First Blood and pick up a Blades of Attack, which seems pretty reasonable. Now, honestly, the main thing that I'd say that carry Hoodwink has going for it in the laning stage is this specific interaction. The Bristle pulls aggro, he pulls aggro, and now this Acorn Shot is really effective because he casts it on the Bristle, it bounces to the range creep, and it bounces back to the Bristle. So it's a super effective, 150 damage nuke after resistances, which is insanely high. So love that interaction. It's really, really practical. But yeah, next he's going to ship Tangos. And again, I don't want to spend too much time in the lane. I want to mainly go to the mid game where things really start to happen because honestly, not much happens here. You do have kill potential. Like honestly, this Bane Hoodwink lane is super legit because you sleep into Bushwhack. It doesn't really come up in this lane. Crit plays very, very passive, but that's the main idea, especially with a lane like this. So to quickly summarize the item build and skill build, he's putting points in his Q whenever he can. He did skill Scurry at level 4, which I super agree with, especially after the buff in 7.39, right? Scurry going back to 3.5 second duration is really, really nice. This ability is incredible, especially considering he's playing Go Nuts, right? He has that bonus attack range and bonus cast range. 75 cast range, guys, super matters, right? It really helps you close the gap and get off a good Bushwhack and a good Acorn Shot. It also lets you just auto attack. So yeah, this hero did get buffed a lot recently as well, but let's keep going. Puts his next point, level 5, into his Q. He's just going to continue to poke at this Bristleback, and again, this is a lane where he has the luxury to just spam the Bristle. Also take a look at his items. I think this is really cool because of the fact that number 1, you're pretty fast as a hero. Number 2, you don't really need boots due to the fact that you have Scurry. If you ever get in a bad situation or you need to chase, you click your E and you effectively have boots. You actually have much more than boots. And so I super like this idea, right? I think it's really interesting to skip it and get a very fast Maelstrom because Maelstrom is so good on Hoodwink. He's going to push the wave here, right? It's good because it procs on Acorn Shot, right? So it's just super effective. Now, one thing that Pure clearly values on this hero is getting active. I think he really wants to fight, and that's not surprising. This is absolutely a carry hero that wants to get active. I mean, after all, you literally have a 600 damage nuke on a 45-second cooldown and 2 other nukes, right? One being a stun. So this hero is a natural skirmisher, and that's why I honestly do believe it could be something that pro teams consider more, because frankly, this hero, I think it needs to farm. Like a big problem of support Hoodwink is I think the hero is just 10 times better with items. It's one of those supports that, in my opinion, was a lot more viable when it had the natural buildup of Gleipnir, right? But now that support Hoodwink doesn't have like a very clear build because of all of the nerfs to Atos and the removal of Gleipnir, it's really fallen off. But carry Hoodwink doesn't have this problem because it can just buy carry items, right? It doesn't feel bad about this removal. And so it just makes a lot of sense to me that you can play very fast tempo, and kind of a move like this makes sense. It's minute 9, and he's going to look to hit the gate. It ends up turning into nothing, but the idea stands. He's hunting for the Tusk, hoping the Tusk is in the tree line, doesn't find him, gates back. Whatever, a quick little move, trying to find something, trying to connect this hero. He's got his Q maxed out at this point. He's incredibly powerful as he misses 2 CS in a row. what in the world, as the Q pushes the wave very, very quickly. And you jungle efficient too, right? This camp will die super fast as the Bristle comes to contest it. Okay, and he gets the tomato. He gets the tomato, easy. One thing you will eventually have is mana problems, so personally I think it makes sense to pick up raindrops on this hero. You're also very, very squishy, and you also just shipped out of clarity, so keep that in mind as well. A big fight's going to start happening very, very soon, and I think this is where the hero absolutely shines. He gets his Maelstrom at minute 11, largely due to the fact that, well, solely due to the fact that he's not buying boots. You know, most heroes, like, for instance, the Nature's Prophet, would never get an 11-minute Maelstrom unless they're having some obscene game. But he has it, right? He has it, and you're going to see it come into play. This Q doesn't bounce, which really sucks, but the fight keeps going, right? He has a very low cooldown. His W misses, like, I mean, this fight is literally worst case scenario. Gets a really nice ulti on the Primal, getting him pretty low. And then eventually he's able to get this super nice Acorn shot off. And oh my gosh, it does like a third of Bristle's health, more than half of Tusk's health. And this fight looks pretty solid from here on out. He's able to clean up the Tusk, and they're able to eventually chase down the Bristle. So these early game fights where heroes clump up very naturally, and I mean, in general, people tend to clump up, you get insane value. And so that was really well timed from BetBoom, taking a fight on the Maelstrom timing. It was very significant, even though that fight wasn't optimal, right? One of his Qs did just completely not bounce, which is obviously not what you're looking for. So now you just shove the wave so fast. Again, this hero just kind of looks good to me. It just looks good. It insta-kills the wave, right? And it connects to these early fights. And it's a hero that naturally scales reasonably well. We're going to see another fight here. And this one was really funny. Honestly, pretty unlucky for Malrine and Snake King. Snake King uses drinking buddies to pull them together and try to save him. And that actually makes the Acorn shot bounce. And oh my, I mean, look at this Primal's health. Bro, that's a tanky hero. He just gets evaporated. And I assure you, that was basically all the Hoodwink. I mean, some absurd damage. As he gets another Q up here, they're going to clump up again. I mean, he's about to get another fatty. Here, ready? This Q does so much. Gets on the NP. Bounce. 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 So much damage. Obviously, you know, a little bit of help from the puck. Another nice bushwhack. Ulti aiming for the Bristle to hit the break, which is super significant there. And they win the fight. So, yeah, I mean, they tip him, and I don't blame him. He did so much in that engagement. So much. Now, for his next item, this is where, I don't know. I found it a little bit weird. I feel that Treads... Oh, he actually did buy Treads. Okay. For some reason, I thought he skipped them. So he buys Treads. Now he's buying a Dragonlance, which makes a lot of sense. The Q cast range is actually based on your attack range. And so Dragonlance lets you cast it from really far away. Also, this hero naturally likes the stats. You're an agility hero. You have low HP. So Dragonlance is beyond perfect, right? You're kind of just like a Nature's Prophet type of hero, right? So that's kind of how you want to view it. He's going to go Mjolnir as this next item as he sieges up the bottom lane, trying to avoid the top gank. This is just a nice move from Pure. He's afraid of the top move. I think Primal Beast is closing in on a Blink Dagger. He has it, so he's definitely very, very scared. The Primal Beast was off map, doesn't want to get ganked, so he's going to hit the gate, connect. And again, you want to connect on this hero. Not that you can't dead lane. You can certainly sit in your lane alone. You have Scurry. You have Acorn Shot, so you can clear the wave from, you know, far away with very little risk. So, you know, jump comes here on the Shaman. They coil up the Bristle. We're going to look for the Bushwhack. Actually just shoots him. Wow, trying to use the break. Yeah, I mean, uncharged ulti doesn't break for that long. I generally would advise against doing that. It's typically not that effective. Okay, BetBoom, they come together as 5. They're going to take down the top tower. His Dragonlance is almost online. And again, he's kind of looking to connect. He was starting to run mid there. Actually decides to change his mind. He's not going to look for some mid fight. Going to clear up the bot wave, which again, you do quite efficiently. I love that he's so aware of picking up these Lotuses, right? This hero absolutely needs the mana. It's probably one of the bigger flaws of the hero. It just has a very fragile mana pool. And so that's huge. Okay, going to push the wave. Again, it's very quick. Can clear this camp. This hero farms more than efficiently. Comes back to the deep jungle. Was afraid of getting ganked here. They just kind of showed mid. So he's going to farm up this stack, which again, really fast. Over to Ancients, which you can farm, right? I think a lot of people would doubt this hero's just kind of general ability to farm, but I mean, it makes no sense. It absolutely farms super fast. And now he has Dorm and Curio, by the way. He's now going to get the Brigand's Blade, which is so nice. He also gets Vast, so he gets that bonus attack range, and he gets Brigand's Blade, which is just going to be insanely high DPS because this hero has reasonably high attack speed. at this point, so he's going to get a lot of value. It also works on Acorn Shot as far as I'm concerned. But okay, Team Bet Boom, going to go for the Roche here. This looks a little weird. I'm not going to lie. It does appear that they will take it down. And they will. We'll take the Aegis. He's going to farm up some of the back camps. TPing bottom again, so prioritizing lane creeps for the most part, as he could definitely bait here. But no, they're just going to decide to initiate it instead. They have this really good ward. Easy bushwhack. Coming off the Bane Sleep. No, not the neutral creep deny. Oh, what a scam. I honestly, guys, say in the comments section down below, do you think they should remove neutral creep denies? I've been thinking about this a lot lately. I really think they should remove it. It is one of my least favorite mechanics in the game. Yes, it can be really satisfying when you hit it, but honestly, it is one of the most demoralizing things when someone gets denied and you're losing the game, especially if it's like a core hero on a streak or something like that, and they get denied. I don't know. To me, it's just so goofy. In general, I don't like denies, and I think the developers at Valve tend to agree. They've removed a lot of deny mechanics over time, things like Abaddons and Pudges. If you guys remember those, like, you know, Pudge was so annoying, just constant denies in the laning stage. Same thing with Abaddon. He just killed himself. Like, I don't know, it's so weird. So I would love for them to kind of just remove the mechanic in general. Maybe people disagree. I just find it to be kind of a scam, and it just doesn't feel good. It feels terrible, actually. Okay, they're going to take a fight, running up the hill with the Hoodwink. He's got an Aegis, so he's frontlining. He's getting in there. They're ready to go, as he's going to break on the right side. So he's just kind of trying to frontline. Wow, finds the Shaman. Nice play from Pure to just kind of get in and give vision. He has an Aegis. Obviously, you would not play like that without an Aegis. That would be insane. By the way, in terms of talent, he took Scurry ability charge. It is really tempting to take mana regen, but I think you can't. It sucks because you really need the mana, but I really just think you can't. I mean, honestly, the big thing is that it just gives attack range 300 attack range. Of course, everything else is nice as well. You know, the movement speed and, well, yeah, I guess movement speed. I mean, the cast range too. But next item, Pike, no surprise, gives you mana pool, gives you HP, gives you positioning, which is all you need, right? This hero does 1 billion damage with Mjolnir. You really just need to be able to stay alive. So Pike is an absolute no-brainer. After that, generally, it's going to be BKB, kind of like a Nature's Prophet. If you're super snowballing, you can transition into something just like a Daedalus or even a Revenant's Brooch, which makes sense on this hero. But that item got nerfed a lot, so probably just Daedalus. But yeah, he's clearing waves. One of the nice things, you can kill waves from super far away, as he's auto-attacking a bit. Look at this attack range. Whew. Whoo-wee. Of course, at level 15, you're going to take Acorn Shot Bounce. That is a no-brainer. Q to clear up the wave. Back to the bot wave. And he's not jungling too much, but that's just because he has an Aegis and they're winning the game, right? So he's trying to progress the map. You know, really siege, push some of these towers. And, I mean, they're just S5. They're ready to go. They're kind of calling out that Team Falcons is going to split push. So they're going to take down the tower. And this is just going to help them progress the map as they go along. Now, you guys know that I'm not a huge fan of sieging random towers. But honestly, the main reason why I say that in a lot of my videos is, especially in pubs, if your team isn't perfectly set up, sieging towers is the best way to get gone on, right? It's the best way to get taken out, best way to just get caught off guard, mass TP'd on. So in general, I would avoid you know, sieging too early, but when your whole team is with you and you have an Aegis and you have information on where the enemy team is, which is crucial as well, then you can do it. Oh, he actually opted to go BKB. Okay. I mean, there's definitely reasons to buy it. There's a Shaman and there's a Primal, probably more so the Primal. I still find it a little surprising. I feel like the Pike is pretty reasonable. He also has like multiple saves. I mean, literally 3 different saves on his team. So I find it to be a bit weird. I feel like Pike maybe makes more sense in my opinion, but okay. Opting to go for the BKB. I just feel like, I don't know, I feel like it maybe is even hard to press the BKB this game. Like, it could be a little bit awkward, but sure. Deciding to go for the BKB, farming it up for a while. They're finally going to look for a mid-fight. Doesn't seem like it's going to turn into much. I see that, but the Shaman's buying a lot of time. Oh, one interesting interaction this game, I don't think it comes up, is that if you Hoodwink ulti someone, sorry, Shaman, if you Hoodwink ulti Shaman, it will break him and he won't foul play. So it's a great way, including if it's like the killing blow, you know what I mean? So it's a really cool interaction, actually, as pushing mid, again, very specifically, because he has Marcy and Dazzle and stuff like that. You can't just casually siege like this in a lot of games, you know? Because if you get hexed and shackled and your team doesn't have a save, you're not going to get your BKB off and you're just going to die. So It's very much a matchup thing, you know, where his team just kind of has the luxury, or he has the luxury to do this. But okay, Pike picked up, which is great. It's going to give him the HP where he's not going to have to panic BKB in a lot of situations. Says, okay, the Bane gets picked off. That sucks a bit. Yeah, 2.3k HP, level 18, skilling his abilities, not taking stats, which I think is better. I think maxing the W is just a bit too good. After all, you have 300 bonus cast range with the Scurry. You know, you're going to be able to get very good bushwhacks with that. And the ability goes down in cooldown, up in stun, heavily up in damage. I think it just, I don't know, it's going to be tempting to take stats. Oh, fight breaks out. But they're unable to find a clean jump on the puck. And yeah, oh, there's the interaction. It just shoots the shaman. And it's really great, right? Because that situation comes up a lot where, you know, the shaman goes in, kind of tries to, oh my gosh, look at that attack range. Yeah, you have to take the Scurry ability charges. There's no way. The mid-game timing is just too good. It's, okay, they're probably going to think about Roche, but honestly, they don't kill it that fast. All right, they're going to bump into the Bristle. Unable to take him down. So they're going to slow it down. I imagine he's going to queue up a Crystallis next. I can't really imagine there's any other item you would buy. I feel like you really need a Crystallis on this hero. And then eventually in Daedalus. I mean, again, maybe Revenant's Bruges, but I feel like Daedalus makes way more sense. Okay, so they actually are going to click the Roche. They're going to bait out the Roar, trying to make Team Falcons run into them. As, oh, the NP went in for a TP to scout it out. They're going to try to find him, which I don't blame them. That was pretty risky from Skeeter. But he's okay. They're going to pop a smoke. Roche going to the other side. And they got to be careful, right? The enemy team has a Shaman and a Bristle. I mean, they could Roche in a matter of seconds if they're not careful. He doesn't really have to panic BKB on this Bristle running in, mainly due to the fact that there's just multiple saves for him. As, wow, a TP in from Skitter, and he didn't BKB, so he might be dead. You can see your single target damage is definitely a little bit lacking, right? Certainly a bit of a problem. He, you know, a Terrorblade would have blown up that Nature's Prophet, but in the back line, this fight looks a little bit weird. Has to be careful about the ferocity, trample of the Primal Beast, but yeah, just doing a good job of poking. Ulti to try to get over, didn't hit. Okay, he'll probably go down. Wow, he's fine. He's able to kite it out. So yeah, pretty good fight overall, honestly. Not the best, I will admit. I actually think like that fight kind of showed the weakness of the hero, where really I think what you're looking for is kind of just heroes clumping up. Before this Daedalus, your single target damage is just kind of a little bit lacking. That's the reality. None of your abilities enable right-clicking. I mean, besides kind of the attack range from Scurry. So that's definitely a fight that like shows the weakness of this hero. It's not your traditional carry that's just going to blow up one target. It's more of this semi-carry that's going to have a stronger mid-game and kind of rely on AoE damage to chip away at the enemy. Good positioning. And wow, the break's so good against Bristle in situations like that. That's all right. Probably kill him. The attack. Wow, he's so low. Wow, seeing red Bristleback, it's so obnoxious. All right, they'll be able to take down Roche pretty cleanly here. Pretty cleanly. He'll get his Aegis, dropping the Falcon Blade for sure. Clearing up the waves, level 20 talent. Probably Armor Corruption, yeah. Not bad. And a level 25, very significant. The Acorn Shot Charge is super nice. Super nice when you eventually get that. Okay, again, high priority on the Lotuses, just to make sure you keep that mana pool up. Getting annihilated by the by the Tormentor. Okay, so 2 minutes on the Aegis. Trying to progress the game. He's hitting really hard now, at least on these buildings. Super hard on this Daedalus timing. He got the Shiv, which is a super nice item, considering his attack speed is quite high. Sieging up the mid lane, still a minute on the Aegis, as the Bristleback gonna start to look to Pocus. Wow, I love how he ignores the Bristle there and just kind of looks for the Shaman. I think if he hit the Bushwhack, probably would have killed him. Oh no, the grip got canceled by the rebound. That is so sad. Now this is where the Acorn Shot is gonna shine, right? Just general damage. It's not gonna like explode anyone, but just general damage. As okay, getting snowballed on here. Gonna Pike to try to buy some time on the Aegis. You don't really need to just casually waste it, but okay, he's gonna go down. And this actually looks really awkward. I can't imagine he overly easily gets out here, as he's gonna get chased. Tries to Bushwhack to get out, but he's gonna go down. Yeah, I mean, just a bit of a flub up from Bat Boom there. Obviously, just, you know, they gripped, and then, was it an Axe grip? No, because I don't think that would even get canceled, but yeah, they gripped and then it instantly got canceled by the Marcy rebound. So I think if they have grip in that fight, they'd look a lot better. Uh-oh, the Bane chain feeding. The game immediately flips back. Less than a 1k lead for Falcon, making a big comeback in this case. All right, let's see this next team fight here. So, oh, they got a DD. So they smoke up on a DD. Blink in. Great target on the Shaman. That's a massive jump. Is he going to pike the Primal Beast, which is actually really good for positioning. It does about a third or a bit more than a third of the Primal Beast positioning. Love this scurry into the tree line because you can easily hit from there. And you can pike down if you really need to. Okay, gets picked up. It's a little bit awkward. Snowball chain stun. Can he get off his pike and Satanic? Wow, I think he probably should have led with pike. But gets off the Satanic. The sharpshooter onto the Primal Beast, swagging out. What? He healed a lot from that Satanic. Was that Acorn shot with Satanic, or was that just auto attacks? Actually don't know. It kind of looked like it was Acorn shot plus Satanic, because it was like, I don't know, it seemed like too much healing. It really seemed like too much healing. Yeah, it was the Q. Wow. The Acorn shot with the Satanic, giving him about 2k health. I mean, maybe with an auto attack or two in there. Pretty crazy, right? And then eventually when you hit 25, you have 2 of those. So your burst heal potential is like through the roof. So the scaling on this hero, again, the scaling on this hero is solid. Again, guys, the point of these videos is not to show you like the best late game carry that's gonna insta carry the game when it hits minute 45. It's just different styles of Dota. You know, it's different answers to heroes. For instance, you know, you see this Bristle and you see the Shaman. Break is very useful. It's obviously a pretty easy lane against Bristle because, you know, naturally you're going to avoid Quills easier than a melee hero. And so it makes sense as, wow, really, oh, that is good damage. Acorn shot bouncing between Roche and the NP gets him super low, and he's got his 2 charges now. They can probably just kite him out from range. Honestly, I feel like the puck may be making a mistake giving the NP the ability to heal by going so close. But he'll be able to click down. I mean, the NP has Aegis now, so this is a bit awkward. Fury to finish him off. Has Satanic. Oh, he's really face stuff in here. I guess, I mean, yeah, with Shaman dead and no Primal Beast, he'll pop his Satanic, heal up. Probably has to chain stun here. They will. They get the job done. So, really impressive damage. I think, honestly, if he fired 2 Acorn shots, he might have killed the guy. Not from, I don't think he would have killed him from full, but would have dropped him low enough where his team would have committed in. But, alright. What is his next item? You could probably get rid of boots on this hero and buy, like, I mean, honestly, anything. Scotty, Silver Edge, just fine this game, just for positioning. He's going to pike away. He still has his BKB. He's going to pop in now. And going to work on this Primal Beast. Actually, so much damage. I don't know. Now that he has this, like, Daedalus plus Satanic and he can really stand and hit, he's doing a lot. Another Acorn shot. Up in 2. Not too much of a reason to click on him, but sure, he just does it for an extra auto attack. And that's the end of the game. So really just cool performance. Awesome game from Pure. I think he played incredibly well this game. Just being at all the right fights. Not over-forcing moves, but yeah, being at the right engagements. I love this item progression. Besides maybe the BKB over Pike, I don't know. I find that with the heroes that were on his team, like all the saves, you can kind of get away with just like maybe a slightly more greedy items. Is that even close to working? No. But alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one. And I'm up.
And that's all. But remember, before you leave, come on, before you tune out, subscribe to the gameleap website where we are going to help you get to the next rank. If you're stuck, click the link down below. And I'm out. Peace.